In Jerusalem, around 597 BCE, the day began like any other. Ezekiel, a young priest in his 30s, made his way toward the temple to begin his sacred duties. But without warning, the Babylonians struck. The city fell into chaos. And Ezekiel, along with the people of Judah, was taken into exile. Exile, for many, felt like the end. Grieving, displaced, and stripped of all they had known. But for Ezekiel, it was the beginning of something greater, a chapter filled with visions and a calling unlike any before. After years of exile, the people of Judah settled by the Kebar River, far from their homeland and the temple they once served. Among them, Ezekiel sat quietly by the water's edge. Stripped of his priesthood and his city, he was about to receive a new and divine calling. From the north came a storm cloud, fire flashing, light swirling. Within the fire, Ezekiel saw 4 living creatures, each with multiple faces and wings, radiant and strange. Their forms shimmered with light, and as they moved as one. Beside each creature was a wheel intersecting another. Wheels within wheels, covered in eyes, alive with spirit. Wherever the creatures went, the wheels followed. Above them was a throne like sapphire, and on it, a man, glowing like fire and brilliant light. It was the image of God's overwhelming presence, blazing and beautiful. When Ezekiel saw it, he fell face down. He knew this was not just a vision, it was a calling. Son of man, I am sending you to the people of Israel, a nation hardened in rebellion. You do not speak for their approval, but because my words must be spoken. A hand extended a scroll to him, filled front and back with lament and woe. Eat this, then go speak. The scroll tasted sweet, like honey, but its message was bitter. Judgment, exile, and repentance. God called Ezekiel a watchman. If the people sinned and he stayed silent, their blood would be on him. Then God made Ezekiel mute. He would only speak when given the words. Ezekiel spoke through signs. He drew Jerusalem on clay, laid siege to it with toy-like models, warning of its fall. God commanded Ezekiel to lie on his side. 390 days for Israel, 40 for Judah. Bearing their guilt in silence, he was told to cook his food over human dung, a sign of the defiled life in exile. Ezekiel begged, and God allowed animal dung instead. He shaved his head and beard, burning, scattering, and striking the hairs, a visual prophecy of judgment, fire, and exile. One night in exile, Ezekiel was lifted in a vision. He saw Jerusalem, not as it was, but as God saw it. The Lord had returned, not to dwell, but to bring judgment upon all who had defiled his holy temple. God took Ezekiel deep into the temple walls, where he saw the very men he once served with, bowing to idols in secret. They chanted, "There is no God but you," making the claim that God cannot see them. God sent a man with an inkhorn to mark those who wept over the nation's sin. The rest would face judgment. Slaughter followed, even in the temple. Ezekiel cried out, but God said, "My anger will not turn back." Then God showed Ezekiel a vision. His beloved wife would die, but he must not weep. "You will be a sign to them," the Lord said, "a silent sorrow to match the judgment soon to fall." Then, in the same vision, God showed Ezekiel what would come after the judgment. A promise: the exiles would return, the land would be renewed, and hope would rise from the ruins. After promising restoration, God revealed a deeper truth to Ezekiel, one that spoke of a people broken and lifeless, scattered like dry bones across a barren valley. "Can these bones live again?" God asked. Ezekiel answered, "Only you know, God." This vision showed that even when all seems lost, God alone holds the power to breathe life into what is dead and to restore hope to the hopeless. He prophesied. The bones rattled, joined, grew flesh. Then God breathed into them, and they lived, a vast army. I will give you a new heart, God said, and put my spirit in you. The people who once rebelled would become his faithful nation. Ezekiel saw a new temple, vast and perfect. From its threshold, water flowed eastward, bringing life to everything it touched. Ezekiel once saw the glory of the Lord depart from the temple, a symbol of judgment. But now, in this final vision, he saw it return, radiant and powerful, filling the new temple with light, hope, and the presence of God. And in the end, the city was given a new name. The Lord is there, once shattered by exile, now restored by hope. Through fire, bones, and visions, Ezekiel saw what many could not, that God had not left them. He was preparing to return.
Pixar. Genie.